Taking a look here at the grandstands from Los Alamitos, and we are joined by a living legend. The man sitting to my left has won more races out here at Los Alamitos than anybody, Eddie Garcia. And Eddie, it's nice to have you on the set here for the first time. And you've basically won and ridden as many races out here as anybody. So how are you feeling here with trying to compete with the young guys now?
Oh, I love it. I love the competition. I'm having a good time. I feel good. I feel great, you know. As the years goes on, I mean, make it easier.
Yeah, and you look great as well. And you've been riding all your life. So what type of exercise or health regimen do you have to stay in to, first of all, stay at weight, but also be at riding competition to be able to win these races still?
Well, you got to come out every morning still and do exercise on horses and keep your body keep going. You know, you can take a time off, and otherwise you lose your talent, you know.
And how's this, Eddie? You're the leading, of course, rider of all time with 2,635. I mean, do you remember, like, maybe your first win of your career here at Los Alamitos, or do you, so many wins there?
No, I remember real well.
Okay.
I won the first race. I won it with the Extortion. Is the name of the horse. Carlos Lopez used to train that horse.
Okay.
I won the race by 3 lengths and disqualified me. You know, it was great. I mean, my first state win, it was with Easy Conversation. You know, it was a good break from Glenn Sonneville. You know, I have a lot of people support me real well when I first started. Blaney was the one who started my career real well.
We're taking a look at some of the career highlights. I mean, these are names that we see have gone on to be sires. I mean, you think of Corona Cartel that you've ridden, Separatist. Is there one horse, I'm sure everybody always asks you this question, but is there one horse or one certain race that really sticks out of all those 2,500 plus wins?
Oh, it was, you know, every horse is special for me. Because every horse is a different victory. Mm-hmm. You know, every horse, it was totally different. When I won the All-American, it was great, you know, for Abigail, Connie Hall. When I won the 2 million, it was real special for Glenn Sonneville.
Yeah.
You know, it was, the man, he was keeping telling me, you know, Eddie, I said, I never won the 2 million. I said, well.
By the way, is that a baseball card?
You know.
Look at that.
Is that a baseball card of you?
Yeah.
Well done.
Look at that.
Well,
that was great.
And
That's nice.
You talked about Blaine Schwanneville, and you know the silks that you have on right now. You're still competing at the highest level. I mean, if you look back to last year in the Ed Burke, you were just a whisker away from winning that $1 million race. And how much does it drive you to be able to have a chance in these $1 million futurities and to be riding on the biggest stage still?
You know, it don't take you much. It just take you a good barn. Mm-hmm. You know, I lost a good trainer. You know, Blaine, it was my best man in around the barn. You know, when you lose people like that and you got to break through all the barns, it's kind of make hard. I mean, you got to go get in light horses. You compete with these people.
And, and there's a story about Easy Conversation, a horse in 1986 who won the Los Al Championship. This is the Grade 1 race. Is this a Trespass?
There was the Trespasses and 2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was you know, that was a real hard horse to ride, you know.
Yeah.
I started that horse real well. Every morning I check around. I knew I was going to get a chance to ride him sooner or later. And kind of like I was waiting for my chance. Ramon Sanchez qualified Foos, and he qualified Trespasses, and he chose Foos.
And Trespasses not only won the 2 million, but also the Golden State Million for, you know, of course, the late Blaine Schwanneville, too.
Yeah, we won the Golden State, and we won the 2 million with them.
Okay, good.
You know.
And tell me about the story about Easy Conversation, because this horse here, back in '86 there, I think Blaine Schwanneville had 5 horses, and he gives you his 5th call. Is that correct?
That's right. He had 5 horses, and I was standing right there. They said, "You're going to ride one horse," and I thought I was going to ride one of the better ones. And they said, "You're going to ride Easy Conversation." I said, "Oh." I said, "All right."
And by the way, what was the odds of Easy Conversation?
It was like 7-1.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Okay. And that was your first big stakes win, of course, of your young career?
Yeah, I beat Castro. I remember real well. I beat Castro. I beat the nice horses, Gold Partner. I beat a lot of good horses with that horse.
You know, one of the things I wanted to ask you, Eddie, you know, on a normal night, if you're competing for a purse of, let's say, $10,000, on the big nights when you have them out in $1 million or a $2 million race, do you feel the nerves creep in morning of when you're leading up to the big race, or is it just business as usual?
Oh, usually when you ride that many races and that's why you practice, you know, your mind and your talent, you just have to wait. You got to, I mean, every owner pays the same price, a good horse and a bad horse. That's why you got to give me 100% every horse you ride.
And very quickly, Eddie, what advice would you give the younger riders out here of today?
Oh, just take your time. I mean, learn and ask for I used to ask the big guys. Kenny Harbaby there, John Krager, all them guys. They helped me. Denny Cardoza, they used to help me all the time.
We got Eddie Garcia, the all-time leading rider here at Los Alamitos, joining us on the set. Eddie, you got some time to hang out with us a little bit longer?
I got to ride the 6th race.
Oh, 6th race. All right. Well, we're going to begin here for the 4th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll have Eddie for just a little bit longer here as they are going up into the line here. It's going to close out the early pick 4 here, 550 yards for this maiden event.
And Balada Joe now came away well. The one who ducked in severely was TLM Dream. And now coming up fast on the far outside is Forgotten Dynasty. Also trying to close in is Snowdacious. As Balada Joe now, Snowdacious and Forgotten Dynasty. And TLM Dreams now recovered, but has a lot of work to do after that tough start. Forgotten Dynasty the outside, Snowdacious, but Forgotten Dynasty. It's the night for trainer John Cooper. He's getting 3 wins in the first 4 races. Easy here. Tight photo between Balada Joe now, Snowdacious for 2nd. And TLM Dream a trouble 4th.
Well, it's going to be the 3rd win of the evening here for trainer John Cooper. Does it again here, Les, with Forgotten Dynasty with Cesar de Alba.
This horse had a series of 870-yard races, and this gray really took him to him 550 yards. This gray got off to a clean start there. I thought the Snowdacious ran good, the rail horse, TLM Dream won, but at the end, Forgotten Dynasty, pretty much the stamina was definitely in her corner.
Yeah, and TLM Dream, the 2-horse, did get out pretty well there with Guillermo Suarez, but you could tell the outside runners were finishing up best of all, and it would be Forgotten Dynasty, who had been competing in those 870-yard quarter-horse events there around the turn, gets the straightaway tonight at 550 yards and stays to task. This gray would get the win, 7-6 there for the exacta. And Eddie, what do you think about these 550-yard races? We don't get to see them too often out here.
No, but I rode one of the best horses, 550. It's different. A lot of horses that need to run a little longer. I mean, I wish they can have a little more races, that kind of races. We have horses that, they're breeding. I mean, you got a lot of horses that have been running 300 yards. They belong to go around 400 or 550.
And how about your 870-yard champion, Sanolani? You rode this horse quite a few times, right? Yeah.
Sanolani, the world champion. I rode him 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Well, in a couple races, you're going to be back in the saddle for the 6th race, and we're going to show the morning line for that event. And we'll get your thoughts here on the race coming up, and you're going to have Princess Addie there. It's a low-level maiden race, and looks like a horse that obviously you haven't ridden before, but what are some of your thoughts when you have a first-time starter, when you're trying to get used to them first time at the races?
Well, a lot of times it all depends on what kind of work you do and the money with them. Like this horse she's 5 foots. Usually the horses that run pretty well the first time starter. All depends how fast they rebel the talent. These quarter horses, you gotta pretty much they gotta get out of the gate.
Yeah.
You don't want to be behind and hit the dirt first time starters. You gotta get them out and get them good race on them.
And you were reliving some of your first wins here at Los Alamitos, but did I read that your first race came when you were 6 years old?
Yeah.
I thought I've been riding your whole life. Wow.
Yeah, I rode all my life.
Wow.
It was my dream. It was coming to be the best. And I'm still the best, and I want to be the best.
And how about this? I mean, your goals is probably reached, but what race have you not had you wish you have won maybe back in the heydays?
I'm going to tell you, believe it or not, the champion of champions.
That's the race.
I mean, that's the race. I ran 2 times second. I thought I won it. I ran second with Stricken Cara. From outside, I thought I won the champion of champions, and I rode a Brotherly. Refrigerator beat me that day. I mean, I hope I can get one of those.
And how about this 1 year you won of over 180 races in one season? Do you remember what? I mean, that was just a great year for you.
It was like me and Kip Peterson. We were going for the title that year. I remember well. We tied at Leon Ryder and Hollywood Park when we used to run Hollywood Park quarter horses. And all year round, we're going back and forth, me and Kip Peterson. I mean, it was a great rider. That was a good experience.
One thing I love about talking with you is that competitive edge that you have. So when you have younger riders, like let's say Jose Nicasio won a race last night, Samuel Mendez, the younger brother of Cruz and Santiago, when you have the younger riders in the jocks room, do you give them any pointers or feel like a mentor, or you just see them as a straight competitor and it's all business once they come in?
Oh, it's all business, but say I see them as young riders, they need help, I help them out. You know, and no hard feelings. I mean, I love everybody, the rider. They got to get serious. when they compete. I mean, when you go on the jockey room, you can yoke around, but when you hit the racetrack, you got to be ready. You got to be comparing and be serious about your business you're doing over there.
Well, it's called respect because you won 8 titles here throughout your career. That's a lot of titles for one rider.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
eight titles
amazing.
I won it. Yeah.
Well, you set the bar very high in terms of the amount of wins. Do you see the next Eddie Garcia in line? Is there anybody that can
No.
somehow get to that number?
Well, I'm going to keep going. I want to make sure there's no one left behind me, you know.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
want to keep that record, you know, like Pink Kai and all them
Yep.
guys, you know.
Can I mix
That
this
you
up?
work hard for, you know.
Eddie, one more question for me. I mean, on March 29, 2002, I'm going to congratulate you because you made my perfect card when you won the 9th race there on a horse called Sign, or was it Sign of, was it, or Brandy? Shot of
he was
Brandy.
aboard the-
He was
the
aboard. The horse
nightcap
wins
and
by a nose,
Wow.
and that made my card perfect that evening. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for
You're
riding that
welcome,
horse to win.
anytime.
Okay.
Eddie, nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Eddie Garcia,
Yeah.
a living
Yeah.
legend out here, the all-time leading jockey at Los Alamitos, and very kind enough to sit here on the desk and have a chat with Les and myself. It's been a fun one, and we're still rolling right along here, about halfway home on this edition of The Quarters.